Well, welcome everybody to the Hope Call. It's our national call that's put on by the 100-Pound Club. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., we actually get together and share stories, inspirations, motivations on stories on real people that have changed and transformed their lives. And as right now is about to start, we're getting a lot of calls in, a lot of people logging in. And tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, Ryan from Windsor.
Hey guys, it's Sean down here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, Sean. Welcome to the call.
It's Sherry Doan out of Marysville, Michigan.
Michigan.
Thank you for having me on the call, guys.
Yes, welcome.
Hi,
John Ellis, San Jose, California.
Sorry for the noise, guys. I'm kind of at my other job right now, so.
It's all right. We'll be able to mute you guys out in a minute. I think I heard Pat. Is Pat on the line?
Yes, I am.
Hey, brother.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
What's up, Pat?
Hi, it's Brielle from Edmonton, Canada.
Welcome.
Hi,
guys, we're going to be starting here in about 60 seconds, so please get your last-minute texts out to people and get them on the call. Who else is joining us?
Jahida from Tampa.
Jahida, my sister. Are you back in Tampa yet?
Yeah, I just got here today.
All right. Well, welcome back.
Gracias.
All right. Who else is joining us on the call?
And Don Ellis from San Jose.
Oh, Dawn, we missed you this weekend.
I
Welcome
know.
to the call.
Thank you.
All right. If you're logging in, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Cindy Talbert, Browning, Illinois.
Hey, Cindy, welcome. Guys, we're about to start here in about 20 seconds. Get your last-minute messages. Post another message on Facebook, social media. And, of course, we'll have a replay after tonight's calls for you to share. But we want to make sure everybody gets the excitement live, and you can feel it from all of you guys. After an amazing, incredible weekend, I am just so excited to be on this call tonight. And we're about to start here in about 5 more seconds. Dave, go ahead and mute the lines. Guys, welcome to another exciting Hope Call. We host this again, like I said before, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for the benefit of anybody who wants to try to lose 50 pounds or more, or just anyone who needs inspiration, who wants motivation and learn from people who have lost over 50 to 100, 200. I think last week we had somebody on our line that had lost over 400 pounds and was recognized this past weekend on stage. That's an incredible feeling to be on stage with that man, Mike McKelvey, as he went on stage and received his shirt for the 400-Pound Club and recognition. And, guys, we're just so excited to be back from an amazing event. I don't think I've slept yet. My voice is kind of cutting in and out just because I've been just talking to everybody, sharing the challenge and what we've experienced and trying to put it into words, because it's like my friend said, it's like when you go to the Super Bowl, you can't really share with other people the excitement and the energy and the electricity of being in the stadium, in the game, in the front row, seats of watching the game. It's not the same as watching it on TV. And I got to have the wonderful privilege, along with several of my 100-Pound Club friends, to get on stage and get recognized in front of the entire Bisalis community for losing 100 pounds. And we got to induct several new people, and you heard from some of them in the last couple of weeks on our Hope Call leading up to the Vitality. And I just want to tell you guys, make sure you don't miss an event. There's several local events coming as well where you'll get to see some of your 100-Pound Club members and some of your champions in your local regions. Definitely make sure that you connect with the person who invited you on this call, and make sure you tell them, hey, I want to go to the next event. I want inspiration. I want to experience, I want to be in the game. I want to learn and from people who are on top of their weight loss challenges, and you don't want to miss another event. With that being said, my name is Kelvin Santana. I almost forgot to introduce myself. and I was 2014 National Weight Loss Champion for the Project 10 Challenge, and it was an amazing experience. And I'm going to let you guys know straight off the bat that tonight is probably going to go a little longer than we normally go to. And the reason for that is because of the amazing guests that we have on tonight. This is the first time since since our last national event 6 months ago that we have on the line tonight 3 champions in the categories of weight loss on the same call. So you want to make sure you grab a pen and paper. You're going to learn some stories tonight, but you're also going to get some valuable nuggets that will hopefully you'll be able to use on your own journey on weight loss. And with that being said, I want to share with you my story real quick. About almost 3 years ago, there was an incident where I found myself realizing that I needed a transformation in my life. I was over 320 pounds, and I saw my daughter laying on the floor, face first, on the tile floor, and me panicking, trying to get out from the sofa to try to get to her. She literally had jumped off the sofa next to me, and in my panic, I was paralyzed, and I couldn't get to her in time as quickly as possible as I wanted to. I ended up having to lay down and roll onto the floor and crawl to her to try to get to her. And by the time I got to her, my wife was 8 months pregnant, got to her before I could, and I then realized that I had gone way too far, and what did my future lie with me being on the floor, crying my eyes out, realizing that I was not fit to be a dad or a husband. And in that moment, I remember praying and asking God for something, and a few days later, someone told me share with me, introduce me to the challenge. And I didn't realize anything about what the challenge was about, but I knew that this person had lost weight and was feeling amazing and was just having lots of fun, and people were always commenting on her posts, and it was so inspiring and encouraging. I felt like I needed that type of environment. So I accepted the challenge, and 90 days later, I'm passing 50 pounds, and I'm feeling amazing. I set a new goal to do a Tough Mudder, and about 5 months later, I'm actually crossing the finish. 6 months later, I'm crossing the finish line at Tough Mudder. And then my friends were talking about the challenge champions. They had just come back from an event, and they said, you have to come to the next event. So I went with them to Los Angeles, and I noticed all these people on stage that had lost over 100 pounds, and I was only a few pounds away, and I'm like, I need to get on that stage for the next event. But then that's when I decided I wanted to share the challenge, and I started sharing the challenge. I saw also on the stage champions being crowned and getting, winning prizes, and I'm like, wow, that could be me one day, But of course, I kind of thought about putting it back in my mind, and went on with my life. But a few months later, a couple of my friends telling me, you should submit your results. So I did, and about a year and a half or after I started the challenge, I'm on stage with amazing people, regional champions from all over the world, and I was chosen to be the national champion. It was an incredible experience, one that I'll never forget. I remember being on stage, and when my name was called, I kind of didn't hear my name, and I was just so excited after I realized that I won. And I saw this in the video, because I can't remember much, just from the euphoria and the excitement, that I remember speaking to the camera and I guess speaking to my daughter and telling her that I will always be there for her. Next time she falls, that I will be there to pick her up. And guys, to me, that was the most important experience from winning in champion. But one of the amazing experiences was the fact that everybody was cheering and everybody was saying my name. People I didn't even realize that knew me, I guess, were following me on social media, because that's one thing about the championship run. People share your story, people share and you get votes. The community actually votes for their champions for their region. After the regional champions are chosen, and from different regions, then independent panel chooses the final champions, and those are unveiled on stage at the national event. And that is what the following 4 people got to experience this past weekend. And I want them to be able to share their stories tonight, and that way you guys can see and learn from them. Tonight, the first person I have on tonight's call is a lady that I've been following on Facebook, and her name is Connie. Connie, are you on the line?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, Connie, loud and clear. It was so exciting to see you share your story on stage, and we and TeamViHOPE knew immediately that we needed to get you on the call and share your story to all our listeners tonight. Go ahead and share your story.
All right. Thank you, Kelvin. What I'm going to say was the emotion that I got from this, I had like this burst of happiness, and I thought that I was dreaming actually when I was called on stage. It just seemed so surreal. So then it became very emotional for me, and I just started crying on stage. So I'll go into that in a little bit. But before the challenge, my life was just kind of like empty, and I was lost. Back in high school, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia and anemia, which left me constantly feeling drained and no energy at all. I was always very tired, never wanted to do anything, just never understood why I couldn't be normal and like everybody else on my age limit. And then in my 20s, I was diagnosed with severe depression and severe IBS, which that actually just left me in a lot of pain constantly. Food was my worst enemy. Every time I would eat, my stomach would just be so bloated and hard, and several times a week, I'd be lying on the floor in a fetal position, crying in severe pain. And I thought I was just going to live my life like this. I thought this was it. This is what life is going to be. And then depression kicked in. I found myself hibernating in the room, not doing anything with my life. Wasn't the best of mothers because I just wasn't attentive, and I didn't want to do anything. I'd come home from work, make dinner, and go to my room and shut the door. That was it. That was my life. I did nothing. It literally passed me by. And if anytime somebody say, "Hey, Connie, how you doing?" it'd always be like, "Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I don't feel good. Oh, I'm in pain." It was always something negative. Well, I got tired of living that life. Decided to go to a Zumba class in 2014. And there at the end of class, this wonderful girl approached me when she said I look very unapproachable. But she just came up and welcomed me to Zumba, asked me if it was my first time. We are best friends as of today, so lots of love from Kathy out there if she's on the phone. So we became friends, and she didn't introduce me to the challenge right away. We just talked, and I told her that I was trying to lose some weight. I asked her what she was doing. That's when she introduced me to the challenge. So then I was like, they asked me if I wanted to do the challenge or be a promoter, so I just decided to go promote the challenge. Why not? I had nothing to lose anyways. I was doing nothing with my life. So that's when I met Kate, my ambassador, Kate Kincaid. She came up to Maryland, sat down with her, and instantly fell in love with her, and then next thing you know, I'm promoting the challenge. Started on the challenge. Within the first week, I actually noticed energy for the very first time in my life. So I was like, this is new. And then I really wasn't in pain for the first week in a long, long time. So I started doing my shakes. I started feeling good. I started making better choices, started craving healthier food, which in turn, that led to, getting the proper nutrition in me, which led to my IBS disappearing. And I have literally been pain-free for a year and a half. Started going to the gym. Next thing you know, my endorphins are going. I'm feeling great, loving the gym life. Next thing you know, my depression is disappearing. So I have beat depression. I'm off my medication, haven't taken medication for that in a year and a half, and just being pain-free. So, and I have more energy. I've actually stopped being a couch potato. I'm actually hardly ever home. You can really never catch me home because I'm very active with my son and sports. I'm at the gym. I'm always challenging myself to do new things. I take up different classes now. I push myself harder. I'm doing things I thought I'd never be able to do. I'm powerlifting, lifting more weights than I've ever lifted. So I challenge myself every day. And just here recently, I've gone through some hardships. For people who do follow me, I lost my mom in July, and then 30 days later, I lost my stepmom. So it's been a rough summer, and I literally I wanted to like fall down and give up. But what kept me going was my followers, my friends, my family, people who encouraged me. They inspired me, which kept me going, and I just pushed even harder on my challenge. So my thing is, even on your hardest days, the days you want to quit, on your darkest days, those are the days you need to push harder and go. What got me to enter in the challenge was one of my really good friends that I've met in this Vi community, Tom Jones. He told me that I should enter to win. He believed in me and he encouraged me. So I entered to win on a what if. I actually entered to win when I was sitting at the hospital with my mom, who was brought in from a coma. Never got the chance to tell her that I entered. So it's just been an emotional whirlwind for me. The challenge is it is a lifestyle change. It has literally changed my life from the way I look at food, from the way I eat, from learning different things about food, new challenges that I do in the gym, putting my body through things that I thought I'd never be able to do. And I learned about myself. So in the challenge, before I came to the challenge, I lost 45 pounds. And then when I was on the challenge, I lost 20. But what got me is I went down 7 pant sizes and 2 shirt sizes. So I lost a lot of inches and a lot of body fat, which is quite amazing. So literally my clothes, I have no clothes that fit me. So that's my story. I'm getting ready to start a new 90-day challenge, getting ready to push even harder and do more things.
Wow, Connie, that was incredible. Just a couple more questions. Describe the moment, that feeling that you had when you found out that you had been chosen as a regional champion, and what that meant to you.
When I got the email when I was chosen as a regional champion, like I said, I entered this on a what if. I never thought it would go anywhere. And I checked my email, and when I saw congratulations, you've been chosen, like literally I froze for a minute. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I was like, is this real? I kept refreshing my page, and I was like, is this real? Tell me this is real. So I had to go all the way down to the end. And the next thing you know, I got up. I went to my son. I was like, oh, my God, look at this. I made regional champ. Called up Kathy, called up my parent. I called up my dad, my brother. And they were so super excited for me. And then I shot a text over to Tom, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, I really couldn't believe it because it was all in a what if. Because I've been through so much hardship in the past few months that, I was literally just kind of like, I didn't expect this. And the emotions from it was amazing. So, and then going all the way, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Tom. Is this Tom Jones from the 100-Pound Club?
Yes, Tom Jones from the 100-Pound Club. Shout out to Tom Jones, one of the co-founders of TeamViHOPE. I didn't know that part of the story. That's pretty awesome. Yes, Tom has actually been with me since my journey. He was one of the first people I met when I started Vi at my first RST in Philly. So, yeah. He's always believed in me.
Well, Connie, that's an amazing experience. I mean, going from pain to being on stage, recognized. You probably never even saw this coming. And we want to continue a little bit more. I'm going to ask you some more questions later on. But I want to get back now to our other champions on the call. And J-Rob, are you on the call tonight?
Absolutely, brother. How's it going?
I am doing excellent, my friend. It was an amazing, emotional night seeing you on stage. For those of you who don't know, J-Rob is like one of my best friends. And seeing him on stage just was emotional enough. But then having them actually chosen and experiencing that with you, dude, that was like one of my highlight, or the number one highlight of Vitality for me. And I can't wait for people to hear your story. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, man. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, as far as my background, growing up, I was very athletic. My parents rotated me out of baseball, football, and basketball from the age of 7. So my entire life, I was always active. It's just that I fell victim to a bad diet. After the practices, the first place we would go, we would be hitting a drive-thru on the way home. It was never sitting down at home, eating a healthy home-cooked meal. So, I developed those same habits as an adult. After high school, just got involved into the party scene, a lot of late-night drinking and eating and hanging out with friends and stuff like that. And so being out of high school, 8 years had gone by, and I stepped on the scale and saw that I was 506 pounds. It was a number that, blew my mind away because my whole, I had never really paid attention to it. I just thought I was the same size, playing football in high school, but, what really, my body was slowly deteriorating, low energy. I mean, I couldn't even walk up a flight of steps without being out of breath and sitting down for 20 to 30 minutes sweating while my body's still trying to cool off. So a buddy of mine, Oliver Padre, he's a Vi champ. He won the same time as you. Of course, you know that. He had told me about the challenge for months, and, I kind of just blew it off. I was one of those people who I would say I would either do it on my own or, oh, that's not my thing, kind of just told him whatever I needed to tell him just so he would, stop asking me. But I'm glad, he was persistent and he kept following up with me until, I hit him up one day. I sat down with him, asked about the cost, and I left, sitting there with him knowing that I didn't have any money for it because of the lifestyle I was living. As soon as I got my paycheck on Friday, it was gone by Monday because we went out partying. I was buying drinks. We were eating out and stuff like that. And so I was just very irresponsible with my money. So I don't know, it was just something that I really felt that this was my time. The challenge was what was going to get me to get on that path to losing weight and being healthy. So I called my mom on the phone, and immediately she knew there was something wrong because I never was one to ask my parents for money because I worked full time. And so I told her that I told her about the challenge, and I told her that I wanted to do it, and she just said, you know what, how much is it? Let me know. I'll loan you the money to do it. And so I started crying on the phone because for the first time I thought that I was finally going to stick to something. It was just a gut feeling that I had. So I got on the challenge. My first 90 days, huge success. I dropped 66 pounds. Then right after that one ended, I did another 90-day challenge, and that's when I crossed over into the 100-pound club at 104 pounds. Just to see myself go from 500 now almost out of the 400s, it was just it was a very emotional time for me. And then I was like, this is unbelievable. It can't be real. So I was like, all right, another 100, let's go. And so a year goes by, and 18 months, I dropped, right before NST this year in April, I was down 201 pounds.
Wow.
And so I didn't even know how to soak that moment in because here I am. I was back to my high school weight when I was playing football, and I was in the best shape. I was still over 300 pounds, but I was pretty athletic for my size. So, and I feel that I'm in better shape now than I was then. So the challenge is just simply, it saved my life, changed my life. I met my fiance in the company, so, life can't be any better at this point.
J-Rob, you met your fiance in the challenge?
Yes.
All right, tell us a little bit about that. What's her name?
Okay, her name is Vicky Richardson. A little bit of backstory. Our friend Will, he was running for a weight loss champion with you at NST Louisville. William Mitchell, excuse me. Wait, is his last name James or Mitchell? I think James. I don't know. Yeah, William James. And then he posted a before and after of Vicky, and I was like, I messaged him. I was like, yo, she's cute. Who's that? And then so we get to NST Louisville, and she blew me off. I was standing there waiting for the event to start. She came and asked where Will and Oliver was. I told them, they're backstage, and then she left. She didn't even say, hi, I'm Vicky. I talked to you on Facebook, none of that. So I was pissed. I was like, what? I was like, man, I unfollowed her on Facebook. And so after that event, we kind of stayed in contact, and then there was the next round of voting for when she was entering for female weight loss champ. And then just over the course of 3 months of us talking, we got to know each other really well. And then when we saw each other at Vitality, we just, I don't know, something just clicked. And so even though being 2,000 miles apart, we decided to give it a shot. And now 13 months later, we're engaged.
Congratulations, my brother. I know it's amazing because, I mean, she is also a member of the 100-pound club. She understands what it is that you've gone through. And to find someone like that understands all that, I mean, it's probably a great feeling. And also that, I mean, she was last year's female weight loss champion, and of course you being crowned, I mean, like, wasn't that an amazing experience?
Yeah. I was just like, I can't believe we're both champions at Vitality.
Hey, J-Rob, from what I've known from you, I know that you're a very personal friend, personal guy and all this. I mean, how was it the experience of becoming regional champion and meeting all the other amazing regional champions?
It was funny. The day that I got the email was actually when I was out ring shopping. It was the day I bought the ring. And my phone buzzed. I take my phone out, and I'm like holding the ring that I'm buying for her and finding out that I'm the champion. So like the nerves from making that big purchase and then finding out I was a champion, I was just like, what the hell? I was excited. I was just like, people were like, my friend was like looking at me like, what the hell's wrong with you? And I'm just like, bro, I'm a regional champion. That's what's wrong with me. So I felt amazing, man. I was just like, finally, this long voting cycle has come to an end, and I get to stand on stage at Vitality. So I was totally stoked about it.
Well, J-Rob, we're going to come back a little bit later. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Incredible, from losing 200 pounds, being crowned national champion, changing and saving your life. And I can't wait to see where you go next. And, guys, I want to introduce our next pair. It's the couples weight loss champions. We got Shane and Michael Boen on the line. Are you guys there?
We are.
Yes, we are.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear your story. Just real quick, I ran into Michael and Shane at the Jacksonville regional event about 2 months ago. And I remember seeing them. We were running into each other at lunchtime, and we were talking, and they were just saying, man, we're going to shoot again for regional for a champion. They had been attempting to do this already, a couple times already, and had never made it this far. And, you know, and I just remember meeting them. I'm like, man, you guys will probably have a very good shot. And seeing you guys on stage was surreal as well. And meeting you guys, talking to you guys before you guys went on stage, that was a cool experience. I can't wait for you guys to share your story. Go ahead. Take it away, guys.
All right. This is Shane. Hi, Vi Nation. I want to first say that I think it's amazing that Visalis has the opportunities that we have available to be able to share our stories with everyone. And there's not a whole lot of companies out there that give us that opportunity. So no matter where you are in this journey, do not stop. It's only the beginning. The beginning for me personally, most people don't know this, so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I used to be, for 10-plus years, a professional stage performer. I've done too many probably, musicals professionally, community theater-wise, and I got to the point that I had gained so much weight that I didn't even want to audition anymore. And the depression at that point had already started to set in. Mike and I did not meet until our mid-30s to get married, so we got married later in age. And with that came some other obstacles that we had to overcome, including some infertility issues. I was diagnosed with PCOS, and we went through several failed rounds of IVF and some other infertility things, and a lot of it was just based on weight. And so I felt like I was letting down my husband. I felt like I wasn't being a good woman. There were just so many things that were incorporated with just being overweight. We ended up moving to St. Augustine from Orlando in 2012, and at that point we had done a race, what my favorite picture, our marshmallow picture. We saw that race photo, and we were just shocked. We could not believe how heavy we had gotten, even to the point that when we were starting to lose the weight and show even my family who live here, look at our before and look where we're at now, they're like, we don't remember you being that big. And I think that's part of it, too, is that it just sneaks up on you. We all try to lose 10 pounds at a time, but you don't gain 10 pounds at a time. And I think that's just one of the hardest things with weight is that everything is slow process, up and down. My last 6 months, it was really hard for me because I literally kept losing and gaining the same 3 pounds. I would weigh and I'd be like, yes, I lost 3 pounds. And then 2 days later, I'm like, there's the 3 pounds back. But you can't quit. You have to keep going. You have to trust the process. And so the obstacles that I kept having to face were, what am I eating? When am I eating it? How am I eating it? And so those were just things that we constantly had to overcome. The benefit we had is that we were doing it together. And so if your spouse is not doing it with you, encourage them to, ask them why they're not. But if they're not interested, find a friend. Find anybody that's willing to be an accountability partner. Even with us living here together, we each have accountability groups within VI that we get to see at NST and we get to see at Vitality and the local events. And that is huge for us. In fact, I even have 2 groups. I have one group that is we're religious people, and so I have one group that is, we're just more spiritually focused, and then I have another group that is just challenge focused. And we have to keep each other accountable at all times. I hope I'm answering most of your questions and giving you guys some information that you're wanting. But my first 90-day challenge, we got introduced by a neighbor that saw us walking in the neighborhood. I lost 35 pounds, and Mike lost 40. We ended up maintaining that weight for about a year. At that time, if Project 10 itself was around, we had not been introduced to it. And so we were just losing the weight to lose the weight, and we were happy about that. Last September, I homeschool our son, and so I wanted to do something part-time, and we were already in love with Vi, and so at that point, that's when we became promoters. Since that time, we've been on constant challenge. There's not been a month in that time that we've not been on challenge using the products fully. Even our son, he's 11, uses the products, and we're proud parents today. He actually got on the scale tonight, and he's officially built 10 pounds of muscle, which we are thrilled. Woohoo!
Congratulations.
So our family totally lives the Vi life. I mean, every day, in and out. But I'll go ahead and turn it over to Mike, and he can share a little bit more of his story. But I just want everyone to know that it does not matter where you've been; it's where you're going that matters.
All right. Well, as you guys have heard from my wife, we were the marshmallow people. We were definitely heavy and didn't even notice it until we saw that picture of the race, and my wife and I had no definition in our face. So again, when we moved to St. Augustine, our neighbor, and I'm going to tell her name is Michelle Skidmore. I give her all the props. She's the one who introduced us to Visalis. She told us to come over. We tried, of course, the Butterfinger Shake and the Creamsicle, and we were sold. Signed up, did our 90-day challenge. I lost 40. Shane lost 35. We maintained, like she said. Then in September is when we started it. I lost another 37 pounds. Shane lost another 38 pounds. I've put on 10 pounds of muscle. This whole year, we've lived the life on the business end and on the personal end, and we've made some of the best friends from Visalis. As I tell everybody, that it's more than a shake; it's family. The product does what it does, but when you have that support group and you have those people that have the same goals that you want, they back you 100%. So that's my story. Never give up. Always find accountability partners. I tell everybody, if you need anything, call me, text me. I'm here for you. So that's my story.
Guys, thank you so much for sharing. I mean, you guys had me cracking up when you guys introduced yourselves as the Marshmallow people on stage. And I do remember that photo. Yeah, go ahead, Shane.
I was going to say it's an image you cannot forget. I wish we could. But you know what? That's made us who we are. We claim that. And we take responsibility for that. There's no excuses. You know, we do not make the excuses. Like I said on stage, if I can remember, we are not people that were sick going into this. We were lazy. We didn't get off medication, but we got off our couch, we got over the excuses, and we got serious about our challenge. And if you do those three things with support and actually following the program, you will succeed. We did, as far as when we entered for champion, last time at NST we entered because I started looking on Sundays, people were like, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. And I looked in our region, and there were no couples. And so I'm going to my team, and I'm like, why are there no couples? Why are there no couples? And they're like, we'll enter. And so we did. And we didn't win that round, but we were still losing, and we were still on challenge. And so when it came time for this one, we were like, all right, should we do it again? And heck yeah, I'm so glad we did. We found out we were regional. We had already left. We left a week early to go to Vitality to visit family up in Arkansas. And so we were literally in the car when we got our email saying that we were regional champs, and we were so thrilled. It made that long drive so much better.
That's incredible. That's awesome. Well, guys, we're going to ask a couple of questions here to our panel here in a second. But I just want to shout out to all the regional champions that won and representing their region for weight loss. I mean, you guys are amazing people. I look up to all of you guys. I love the stories I heard from stage. I love the transformations. Keep going. If champion is what you want to do, just keep entering again, as you guys heard from Michael and Shane. I mean, they entered more than once. I know Jonathan entered more than once, and so forth. So definitely keep going. And you guys are all an inspiration to the ViSalus community and to your own regions as well. So wear that medal proudly wherever you go, guys. Well, guys, real quick, I want to ask you guys one more couple of questions before we wrap up. Actually, about the champion, the aftermath. I mean, you guys were on stage. You saw the people cheering you on, and you guys got to give a little speech, which, by the way, I was able to videotape, and I will be uploading each of your speeches probably later on tomorrow. And I just wanted to get a couple of reactions. Like, for example, J-Rob, what was your reaction from your teams and all your supporters after when you got off stage? How was that experience?
It was... Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh. It was amazing. Like, you know, Vicky ran backstage, and, you know, like, she just gave me like this huge hug, and we just, for like a moment there, we stood there and just cried together because, like, we couldn't believe it, you know, like, you know, after all the hard work and all the weeks of voting that, like, I was champion. And then I went out and saw my team and all the high fives and the hugs, and everyone's like, oh, let's take a picture. And it was just an amazing feeling, like just that, you know, everybody, all the hard work that you did paid off, and then you have all your friends who are like family to you there to celebrate with you and embrace you.
Yeah, and I know that's an incredible feeling. Definitely when I walked off stage, seeing all my team and meeting all my supporters, and actually, you know, just telling, you know, I knew that they were sharing that experience with me because they had been part of my journey. Connie, was this your first time in front of the camera for a photo shoot? I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe you've done some modeling in the past. But how was the photo shoot? And that was as far as part of your prize package.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Connie.
Okay, good. Yes, this was my first photo shoot. I mean, if you want to count selfies, if you look at my page, I am like the selfie queen because I post every time I'm in the gym. I post. So, but as a professional photo shoot, yes, this was my first time. I am not shy of the camera. I actually love the camera. So
yeah, describe that, how it went. How did it flow? What time you guys started, and how was it, like, the interaction with all the champions, and how did it go?
Well, it went great. I was scheduled to be there at 10:45 in the morning. So when I first walked in there, we went straight to wardrobe, and I got my outfit, and then it was over to hair and makeup, which was it was pretty awesome because, sitting there and have somebody do it for you instead of you doing your own hair and makeup. So that's kind of fun and exciting in itself. And then they were doing Periscope Live. You kind of feel like a rock star, like a superstar. It's like, wow, just seems really surreal. And then, we did the interviews, and then we went to the photo shoot, and that was fun, just kind of, playing with the camera and working it and having fun and being sassy and doing all the fun pictures. But just being around like the other champions, because when you're there in the moment, you don't really get a chance to talk to the other champions because as you're backstage, you're very nervous. Everybody I talked to, everybody was so nervous. I know my heart was pounding. I was shaking. So you don't really get a chance to talk to anybody because we're nervous. And then after the match, everybody kind of goes to their team, and then you're constantly being pulled as you're walking. Hey, can I get a picture with the champion? Hey, champion, can I get a picture? So, you're walking through and you just feel like this, celebrity. And, but just going to the photo shoot and actually sitting down with the champions, and talking to them and, listening to their story, they're all so inspiring and they're all so great. And they just, we just inspire one another and their stories are amazing. And that's just, it's how we become champions.
Yeah, definitely. And, that's one thing I love about the challenge is that almost everybody you walk around could be a potential champion because with 3 million transformations, can you imagine if everybody would enter, what would it be like? I guess real quick, J-Rob, what are your plans for the $5,000?
Well, that should be a no-brainer. $5,000, we're planning a wedding, so that entire $5,000 is going towards the wedding for next year.
Well, that's definitely good use. I was going to say, you probably turned it over to Vicky.
Pretty much. I said she started planning yesterday, and I was like, all right, you have $5,000 that you can start playing around with. Have fun.
That's awesome. How about you, Connie? What are your plans?
My plans are, for once, I am going to give my kids a really good Christmas because as a struggling single mom, it's kind of hard. So I'm excited to give them a really good Christmas. And then I want to kind of thank the rest, and I want to get my NST plane tickets because as you all know, or maybe not all of you, but I actually drove to Vitality, so it took me 21 hours to get there and 27 hours to get back home. So I want to go ahead and pre-buy my plane tickets to NST so I don't have to do that anymore.
And might as well, when you're down here, take a little mini vacation. By the way, for those who don't know, NST, our next national event, will be held in Orlando, Florida. That's my hometown where I live right now. And I just can't wait to see all of you guys come down in Orlando and actually celebrate with you guys. And guys, I want to ask one more question to Shane and Michael. And this is more on a serious note because I remember walking off stage and after, like Connie said, everybody stopping you and people taking pictures. J-Rob was hanging out with his team. But there's a moment right after that you finally get a moment by yourself. And in the case of Shane and Michael, I'm assuming that they were together when they finally probably just had a moment. And I want them to share, when you looked at yourselves together and face to face and you were alone, what does that medal and that trophy mean to the both of you? What does it symbolize for you guys?
It just, to me personally, it's the end of one journey and the beginning of another journey. When we found out we were regional winners, we sat there and stopped and bought a bottle of champagne. We were going to celebrate if we were regional, if we were national winners. And literally the next morning, we got up about 4 o'clock in the morning. We just couldn't sleep. We literally probably slept maybe 2 hours. And we went upstairs and we had mimosas and just sat there and looked at our medals and looked at the trophy and just, I think we finally, for 5 minutes, if anything, we could just sit and kind of take a breath, just breathe and just soak it in that we accomplished something that we put our mind to and that we're the national winners of the whole, really honestly, the whole world, because now we're in so many different countries that we together are national champions weight loss. It's just unbelievable, and it has put a fire under my butt that I mean, I feel like I'm really now like I own this company, and I'm all the way going forward, put to the floor, going full blast. Anybody needs anything, I'm here to help.
Wow, that's great. Shane, you want to add anything to that?
I think it's just that I think it's more important for us because we've done it as a couple, and it was just the idea that through all of this, because remember, this was not just 90 days for us. We had entered previous. So it's been at least a half a year that we've been working and pushing each other and encouraging each other and being there when the pounds weren't coming off or sometimes when the pounds were going back on. And it was just a sense of accomplishment. And, Mike is very quick when anyone is like, oh, congratulations, to point to me and say, oh, well, it's all her. And that's not true. This was a couple's weight loss. And he earned just as much of that trophy as I earned. And I'm very proud of him.
Thank you guys so much. And guys, as I wrap up tonight, I know I apologize for the length of the call, but I just felt in my heart that we needed to share the stories that they went through and the obstacles they went through and the celebrations and the ups and downs, because what they represent is what all of Salas goes through. And I want you guys to realize this. Before they were champions, before they even realized they were champions, they were living a champion mindset. And a champion mindset is without even being recognized at the time. And that's my challenge for all of you guys tonight as you were listening to these calls. I know there's people disappointed as maybe even win regional champion. And that's not what the challenge is about. It's not about winning a trophy and a medal. Those are just an incentive that the company throws out there to push yourself for those who want to push themselves beyond their limits that they want to go for. But guess what? You're a champion just by accepting the challenge, just by deciding to go for a goal and achieving that goal. One of the most proudest goals I ever achieved was passing my first 10 pounds, realizing that if I could lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks like I did, that I could keep going and I could maybe do things that I never thought was possible. And on my journey, I've realized that every single person is a champion that accepts a challenge, and never gives up. One thing is that I realized early on that, time will always pass. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you just keep going, and you'll get to your goal, your destination, if you just don't give up. And I've seen so many people on my journey, people, my friends and family, that have fallen. They start the challenge and they just one obstacle, and they just like, no, I can't go and keep going. I'm just going to keep going back to my old lifestyle. And it's so hard to see people going through that, knowing that if they just stick to it and keep going, they'll do it. And that is why I'm so excited the company launched just this recently, this year, a challenge groups. And I know Shane mentioned that they have support groups that they have, even if they're not local, they have support groups on WhatsApp or Facebook and just cheering them on. There's support groups that just pray for each other and to encourage them on their journey. And that's what I love about the ViSalus community. There's so many different ways, and if you want a person that is unplugged, that doesn't have a support group, reach out to me personally, and I will find someone for you or find a group that you can belong. And we already have one. It's called TeamViHOPE. And on Facebook, you can look us up, #TeamViHOPE, and we have over 100 people that have lost over 100 pounds, and literally over 1,000 people that have lost over tens and 50 and hundreds of pounds there to support you and to cheer you on. This call is done by the 100-pound call, the 100-pound club, because we felt a burden, like Michael said earlier, to share it, to help others, and and every single person that that listens to this call, you can impact someone else as well. And that's what I found that made the pain easier for me as I started going on my journey, was the more I shared it with others and other people's where lives were changing, it encouraged me to keep going. It also helped me keep held accountable. Our company allows you to lose the weight for free. I only paid for one kit in my entire challenge to this day, and that was my first kit. And let me tell you, it was tough because at the time, me and my wife were hit financially, but we made a sacrifice to do it. But from that moment on, I've been able to maintain a healthy lifestyle for free. And if you don't know what that is or want to know more about that, ask the person who brought you on the line. But as I wrap up, again, this call was not about me. I want each person that was on the champion to wrap up the call tonight. The theme is living like a champion. And I want you to go ahead and just share really quick, 60 seconds, and a few words, what most important lesson you have learned on this journey. And guys, please take notes. These are champions that have dedicated over a year on their challenge, and you can see what they've gone through. I want them to now go ahead, take the mic, starting off with Michael and Shane, then Connie, and then ending with J-Rob.
A quick challenge tip that I would pass on is that we learned midway through our challenges, do not, when you're shopping, go into the middle aisles. If you stay on the outside of your grocery aisles, that's where all the fresh stuff is. Yes, it may cost you a little bit more, but it will not cost you extra calories. And the stuff that's in the middle aisles by Salis covers all of that for you, the cookies, the snack bars. You want to stay to the healthy stuff. I also want you to know personally that you can do anything that you set your mind to. Reach the limit. Shoot, what do they say? Shoot for the moon and maybe you'll hit the stars, or shoot for the stars and you can at least hit the moon. I don't know. I'm almost 42 years old, and I have entered a beauty pageant. I never would have done that before, but why not? So that's my new challenge. I'm starting November 1st on a new 90-day challenge officially. I would love it if all of you guys wanted to jump on board. There's going to be exercises and just tips, but we're here to support you guys, whatever you need, whatever you want. Friend us on Facebook, reach out, and I will hand it over to Mike.
My bit would be, you need to put some exercise into into the challenge. I mean, the challenge is nutrition, but exercise, it can be walking, it can be jogging, it can be running. Us, we like to run. We like to run for the bling, for the medal. It could be bicycling, whatever. Just do something. Do it as a group. And like my wife said, friends, find us on Facebook, send a friend request, message me. I'll even give you my number. If you ever need anything, if you're talking to people, there are couples and they are teeter-tottering if they want to do it or not, call us. We're here for you.
Connie?
Okay. What I would say is never give up. I've said it before. On those hard days, the days you want to give up, or the days you just don't feel like doing it, those are the days that you need to push the hardest. You will be so grateful for it. Also, dreams do come true. I said I never thought I'd be here in a million years, but dreams do come true. And just have faith in yourself, believe in yourself. Be okay on the bad days. We are human. We all have bad days. The day when you do plateau, because you're going to plateau, we all do. You just learn from that, and maybe your body is trying to tell you that you need to up your game a little bit. So take that as just another step. That's not a step to saying, oh, this doesn't work, I'm going to give up. It's just another step to move forward. So just don't give up and believe in yourself.
J-Rob, take us home.
All right. Well, first things first, if you're not on the challenge, get on the challenge. Like Kelvin said, join the challenge and become a champion. You're going to have a lot of bumps in the road on this journey. You're going to get sidetracked a lot. Life's going to happen. But you need to remember one thing, that this whole entire time before you made this decision, you were just living a normal, everyday, average life. You didn't think about your health. You didn't think about losing weight. And then one day something happens, and guess what? You get on the challenge, and you're successful, and you lose the weight, and now you're finally alive. You're living the life that you deserve. Now, the bad things are going to happen, And how you respond to them is going to define your character and the quality of your life. You can either choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of the loss or your failure, or you can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift, which is life itself. And for that, I send it to you, Kelvin.
Guys, what an amazing call tonight. Please share this call. We're going to be uploading it after the call, or probably sometime by noon tomorrow. And guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for joining us. This call is officially wrapped. See you guys in Orlando.
Woo!
Bye. Woo!
Amazing call.